All right, so on slide number 9, we are talking about gerrymandering. So someone tell me about gerrymandering or gerrymandering. What do you know about it?
It's the splitting up of districts like unequally for one party to have an advantage.
Yeah, exactly. So the actual definition, just like you said, is gerrymandering. It's an oddly shaped district designed to increase voting strength of one particular party. So if you look at North Carolina, right? What looks a little odd? What color is a little odd? You can see this, right? Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Purple.
Yeah, so purple kind of looks weird. Kind of think about why green kind of envelops the purple or even the gray. Like none of that looks equal, right? Like 11 looks pretty good. Like we can get on board with 11 on the western part of the state, and even we can get on board with 3 on the eastern part of the state. But everything in the middle kind of looks a little wonky. All right. So we're going to talk about this guy real fast. Make sure.
Gerrymandering is a real problem.
The Supreme Court announcing they will take up a major case on political gerrymandering.
It is time to say hasta la vista to gerrymandering.
As the Supreme Court debates political redistricting, there's a different argument brewing outside the High Court, that we're all pronouncing gerrymander wrong.
She said he should know that his district was the first to be gerrymandered. I said, no, gerrymandered is how it should be pronounced.
There's a term called gerrymandering. Some people say Jerry, but it was Gary, Gerry.
My real name is Gary.
Gary? Yeah, Gary. The term originated in an 1812 Boston Gazette cartoon, making fun of Massachusetts Governor Elbridge Gerry. The cartoon criticized him for drawing a district map favorable to his party. The map looked like a medieval salamander, hence gerrymander. And Elbridge Gerry pronounced his name with a hard G, not the soft G Jerry. Just ask Alex Trebek.
Who is it? Jerry.
It's pronounced Gary, but it's Elbridge Gerry.
Well, the gerrymander is...
I know.
Okay.
That's one of those weird things about our language.
Or one of Elbridge Gerry's descendants.
You know, the correct pronunciation is Gary, not Jerry. It's not gerrymandering. It should be gerrymandering.
But almost everyone says gerrymander. The Supreme Court justices all say gerrymander, well, all but one, and only a few purists remain.
At conferences, in classes, when I'm with colleagues, I'm often the only person who resorts to gerrymander. But I'm fighting the good fight. I think it's the right pronunciation, and it does justice to the person whose name it got attached to.
So how did we get the Jerry pronunciation? It all goes back to that cartoon.
This is prior to radio. There was no audio transmission except word of mouth. And so the word gerrymander traveled further and faster than the pronunciation of the family name of Gary. Language moves, it changes, it transforms.
And the practice of gerrymandering has changed and transformed too.
Now with map drawing, things are so different. Back when Elbridge Gerry was drawing his infamous gerrymander, it was basically a quill and paper approach that was pretty crude. Now with new technologies for map drawing, with increased data, you can have a gerrymander basically without funny shapes. I think moving forward with gerrymandering is a good way of marking out the fact that what's happening now is very different from what's happened in the past.
So which is right, Jerry or Gary?
We are long past the pronunciation gerrymandering, and any attempt to make us go back to that pronunciation would be a mistake. Nearly the entire world says gerrymander, so say gerrymander like the entire world.
I said, everyone, and I mean everyone, says gerrymander. She said everyone is wrong.
All right. So if you want to say gerrymander, that's fine. If you want to say Gerrymander, that is fine as well. We don't have to fight the good fight here on pronunciation. But I do want to ask you, so tell me about this cartoon. They mentioned the cartoon several times in the video. Someone tell me kind of what it represents and where it was located.
This salamander cartoon
Mhm.
is a represent the Elbridge Gerry guy. He was this. I think they said he was a governor.
Mhm.
He that was the first time someone had split up the colony the area so that one place of more would have an advantage of another. I don't know why I'm saying this. I'm tired right now.
Okay, so to me, that looks like a dragon. You know, that doesn't make me think of a salamander, but okay. And say that again.
It looks more like a dragon than a salamander.
Yes. So this was in Massachusetts, okay, and this was the first attempt by a political actor, mainly Gary, to make sure that he and his federal colleagues won the district, okay, or won the area. So he made this wonky looking district because that was the only way he was going to win. So, oops. Starting on page 10 of your Pocket Constitution, we are going to practice gerrymandering, but we're going to do it in the state of rainbows and butterflies. And in the state of rainbows and butterflies, we have a population of 30 people, okay? And that means that we have 5 voters per district, and we have 6 districts on the map. So you can follow along on page 10 of your Pocket Constitution. All right, so these are all of our voters. We have 6 equal districts with 5 voters per district. Seems pretty legit. So in District 1, or in all of the districts, excuse me, we're going to have our unicorns. Okay, so we have 2 different parties. We have unicorns and mermaids. And our unicorns make up about half of our district. Then we add our mermaids, and they make up the other half of our district. So if we go by each district, so District 1, okay, we see that the mermaids win here because there are 3 mermaids and 2 unicorns. What about District 2? Who's going to win here? The unicorns, right? Because there's 4 unicorns and 1 mermaid. What about the next district, District 3?
The mermaids.
Mermaids, because there are 4 mermaids. What about the next one?
Unicorns.
Unicorns, and then who's going to win District 5?
Mermaids.
Mermaids, and then District 6?
Unicorns.
Unicorns. But here's the thing. In politics, there are only winners and losers, okay? We can't have a tie. So when we have a situation where we're going to have a tie, we are going to gerrymander the districts, okay? That's the whole point of gerrymandering, so that we don't have these equal districts. Because if everything was equal, right, then we couldn't have a winner or a loser. We would only have ties. So let's try again. So let's just say up here in our little pink and magenta district, who wins here?
Unicorn.
Unicorn. All right. The next district,
Unicorn.
unicorn, right? And then for the yellow, we have unicorn again. Down here for the purple, who's going to win?
Unicorn.
Unicorn, or I'm sorry, the green. And then we have the purple, unicorn again. And then we have one mermaid district. So you saw how we did this before. Okay, we had 6 equal districts, and we had a tie between mermaids and unicorns. But if I gerrymander this, if I gerrymander my districts, then you will see that the unicorns overwhelmingly win. Can we see that? All right. Now, on pages 11 and 13, we will practice this on your own. And let me open up the Pocket Constitution so I can show you. So on page 11, if you click the box or around the box, you will see that there is a highlighted portion. I don't know why. There we go. And then if you click in the upper left-hand corner where it says highlight, you can change the border color to any other color. Okay. So what we're going to do is you're going to change the color of the elephant or the donkey. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. And you are going to create, okay, you're going to help the Republicans win as many districts as possible. Okay. So go ahead and try that on your own.
Miss Jones,
Yes.
the audio is good. I can't really see anything,
Okay.
and you know what to do right now. Is there any post the slides so I can put them in?
Sure. So I can post the slides in a few minutes. But if you look at number 11 in your in your Pocket Constitution, yeah, Ray, I can't hear you.
Okay.
All right. So tell me if you are done. Is anyone finished creating your districts? Raise your hand if you have finished number 1. All right. Great job. All right, so someone tell me what they did for the district. Excuse me. Someone tell me how they reapportion this to gerrymander it.
My first district was like the top first three elephants, and then like under it the two like donkeys right under it.
Okay. So you can still see my screen, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you're saying we'll change this to blue. Like this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so then we have the Republicans, right, winning. All right, so what do we do next?
I put under that on the third like where your mouse is, that elephant. And then I did the first two elephants, two like donkeys under it, and then one elephant at the very bottom.
Okay. Did you do this top elephant or no?
So it's like the very first, like I guess, like right where the blue ends, the two elephants under the donkeys are the ones.
Okay.
And then
so not the one I highlighted.
No.
Okay. All right, so these two elephants. Go back. Okay, so then after these two elephants?
The two donkeys under those two elephants.
Okay.
And then the one elephant in the corner.
Okay. Okay, so we have another Republican district. All right, now what?
The two donkeys next to the elephant in the corner.
Okay, yeah. The two bottom ones?
Yes. And then like the three elephants that I guess surround those two donkeys.
Okay. All right, so we have another Republican district. So we have 1, 2, 3 Republican districts so far. All right, now what?
That's as far as I got. I was like working on my board.
Okay, so you've helped us out a ton. Who else can help me out further? Now what do we do? What do we do?
What I did was, on the second row, do you see the two middle elephants?
I do.
I highlighted those, and then the top three, like the last top three on the top row, I highlighted those color, and then it would make the Republicans win.
Okay, so we'll do that. All right, so be looking at the next move. Okay, now what? So we have 10 donkeys left. Or 10 donkeys and elephants. And we currently have 4 Republican districts. So how do we make another 5th Republican district? Anyone? All right, so I'll help you out. So we'll start here with this middle elephant. Then the next elephant next to him. And then we'll say this donkey right here. And then we'll go down this row. Okay, so we have 3 elephants, 2 donkeys. And then our last district will be a Democrat district. So we'll have 1 Democrat district and 5 Republicans, 1 Democrat. Oops. Do we see how this works? Do we see why this is a problem in politics? And why this is inherently unfair? If we know that there are equal number of donkeys and donkeys and elephants here, so Democrats and Republicans, yet we can design these districts so that the one party can overwhelmingly win over the other. Okay? That is a big problem. Okay? Because that's unfair to our electoral process. All right, so excellent job. Now what you're going to do is you're going to, we will move into asynchronous time in just a moment, and you're going to finish pages 12. So you're going to help the Democrats win next. And then you are going to try to make 6 districts that do not intentionally benefit one party over the other. So you're going to practice this 2 more times. You're going to tell me about that political cartoon we heard about. And you're also going to interpret 1 political cartoon on your own. Okay, so for asynchronous time, you are finishing slides 9, 9 through 15. And I have also posted the notes for slides 5 through 8. Okay, so by the end of today, the expectation is that we have slides 1 through 15 done. Okay, 1 through 15. Any questions, comments, concerns? No. Okay. So you may complete this asynchronously, which means you can log off in a moment. If you want to stay, ask questions, have some accountability, I will be here. Okay. That is all I have for you today. The rest is asynchronous, and I will post this Zoom in a moment. Sound good? All right, perfect.